views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Welcome to my show. Well,
Patty?
hi, Ana Etter. That's a beautiful name.
Thank you. Spanish.
It is.
Yep.
¿Cómo está?
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
¿Y usted?
Whatever. So, you're Executive Director of Coats for Kids in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Is it just Fort Wayne, Indiana, or?
Fort Wayne, and then so Allen County, and then the county of Adams, Huntington, Wells, and Whitley are the other counties that we serve.
That's good. So why was Coats for Kids formed, and when was it?
So Coats for Kids started 21 years ago as a way to assist children that were identified during a local fire drill through WOWO, the radio station that always does the annual fire drill. That was before I was at the agency, but they were at North Crest Elementary. And during the fire drill, there were a number of children that were identified as not having a winter coat. And then the teachers, upon following up with those children, did some more digging and found out that the family simply didn't have the means to provide a coat. Since then, the number of children living in poverty in Fort Wayne has risen. And, you know, these are families that are working, that are trying to make ends meet. Many of them are working multiple part-time jobs, and they just cannot get enough traction, you know, and coats they're not cheap, you know, they're expensive. You have multiple children, it's expensive. So this is a way to try to provide a winter coat, brand new or gently used, to children that have been identified through the local school system. And we work with private as well as parochial, as well as public schools. And, you know, we cannot solve every problem that that family may have, but we're able to help with this one. And it is really the work of volunteers and donors working together that make it happen. Our staff provides the infrastructure for those donations and for that process to identify children and for the schools to request codes and so forth to happen. But it's really the donations that we receive from the community and from partners and the work of the volunteers that make it happen.
So what percentage of our community are the kids who are in poor families?
What percentage of what? Repeat that again. I couldn't hear that part.
What percentage? Like 1 out of 6, 1 out of
Of children. So before the pandemic, we knew that statistically 26% of children in Fort Wayne were living in poverty. Those numbers are a little less in the outlying counties, but for Allen County, which obviously has the highest population, roughly 26%, that does not include an additional 13% of children that are living in households that are above the poverty level, but below what is considered to be a financial income level to meet basic needs. You roughly have about 36% of children that are living, like I said, either below the poverty level or slightly above it. So these are households that are really struggling financially to make ends meet and to get some traction, so that when a little thing goes wrong, like a car repair, that doesn't throw off the entire household budget.
So I was going to say, you also helped over the years the Burmese who came from, it's not Burma, what is it, Myanmar?
Myanmar,
you still help the least?
So a lot of those families can receive assistance through our program, and the main thing that we do is all the children that identify as needing assistance for a code are identified through either the local school system, so the guidance counselor or the school case managers, or we also distribute codes through local agencies like Head Start's programs, as well as organizations that are working with families that may be in a homeless situation.
Homeless, yes. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
So if people are watching and they find themselves in need, that the first step if your child is in school will be to contact that school directly and ask for the case manager or the school counselor. And what we tell people, if they have any problem in making that connection, give us a call because we can give you the name of that person. But most of the time they call the school that they know about our program.
Mhm.
We make it very easy for the schools and agencies to be able to request codes. It is all an online form that they're able to complete. We don't ask any particulars about the children because for us, the people that know those families and understand the need in those families are those case managers and school counselors. So as long as the school has determined that they have a need, then that's enough for our program. So that what we try to do is eliminate any barriers for children to receive those codes. So we don't want those families to have to make an extra trip. We
Yeah.
don't want those families to have to provide financial documents. So we know that the school works with those families and that those families trust the school system. So that's what we do. That's what we proceed that way for identifying the children who are in need.
At what age group do you go up to from?
So we go all the way through high school. So some of the kids in high school obviously are going to be in adult sizes. We have uh, grown up, basically young adults that are there. So some of the codes go up to 2x, 3x. And then on the younger side, a lot of toddler codes too. The majority of the codes get distributed from kindergarten, so roughly a size 6, boys and girls. But some toddler ones for Head Start children, preschool age kids as well.
What about kids?
Mm-hmm.
Do you provide diapers? Or
We
just-
don't. So what the Codes for Kids program provides is coats, and then children also get hats, gloves, and scarves. So if people, maybe that they're not able to financially make a contribution to the program, but maybe they can, get a couple pair of gloves, that would really help us. We have more hats than we have gloves and scarves. So we definitely have a shortage of gloves. So that's another way that people can help.
I wish I could knit them.
Yeah, we have some knitters out there that do some hats, and a few have done gloves, but a lot of hats.
So we should get people in our community to start knitting gloves that are really desperately needed.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
Freeze your little fingers.
definitely a shortage. Yeah. And, little ones are going to lose those gloves too. So I think that's the other factor that,
Have them tied onto each other and put.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what my mom used to do because I always lost my mittens.
I still lose mine. So,
Oh, no.
and I'm an adult.
Oh my God. So, if you cannot give coats and that, is there money?
Mhm.
How much?
Yeah. So what we tell people is we're very good at maximizing our buying power.
Mhm.
And we had established some great partnerships with organizations that help code collections like ours that happen at the nonprofit level. So if an individual or family is able to donate $25, we're able to provide a brand new winter coat, hat, gloves, and a scarf for a child in need. And that donation really then also covers part of another's child's. So you're really covering a little more than just one. So that really helps. These are very nice quality coats that are warm and have a hood, are durable. So that really helps for us to be able to go and buy. Also with the pandemic, obviously a lot of people had concerns about going to the store. Maybe they're not comfortable with that. So donating on our website is the easiest way, and that is at volunteerfortwayne.org, and the Fort Wayne is spelled out. So volunteerfortwayne.org. There are 4 circles when you go on the website. The 4th one says Codes for Kids, and there's a donation portal in there. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way and send a check, we accept those as well, and they will help just in the same way, and they can send that to the Volunteer Center. We're at 3401 Lake Avenue,
Oh, yeah.
Suite 4, and the zip code is 46805. If people want to donate a winter coat, we had some creative shoppers, and what they did is they went online to some of the local stores. They ordered some coats, and then they just had them delivered directly to our office.
Well, that's
So a lot of the online retailers will do the free shipping. So that's another fun way that people can contribute and maybe get to pick a coat. And then lastly, if people want to donate a coat,
Yeah.
our biggest need right now is for girls 7 and 8, and girls 10, 12 for the sizes.
Yeah.
And then in boys 7 and 8, 14, 16, 18, 20, and then man's small and medium are our biggest needs right now.
So collection dates, they started November the 7th, right?
Mhm.
Well,
Correct.
how long does it go till?
We will go through November the 29th, and even beyond that, if people have, for whatever reason they missed us, they can call us and we'll make sure that we're able to accept that. But the majority of the codes will come in through the 29th. The reason being is that we're trying to get them out as fast as possible. We want them obviously to get them out into the arms of children before the school breaks for Christmas.
Yeah.
But also this year, more than ever, with COVID and the pandemic and schools going from virtual, in person to virtual and so forth, we're trying to overcome all those obstacles and get them out as fast as possible. But officially then it's the November 29th,
Mhm.
and they can drop off. We have a number of drop-off locations around Fort Wayne.
Where?
So people can donate at Darlington Holiday Warehouse, Peerless Cleaners, all Dollar General stores in Allen, Adams, Huntington, Wells, and Whitley counties, Sweetwater, Parkview Orthopedic Hospital,
Mhm.
the YMCA branches.
Where are they?
Mhm.
Allen, Wells, and Huntington? Oh.
Correct.
So, this pandemic, if they can't leave their homes and they need coats to go to see doctors or anything, how do you get the?
So we're going to try to distribute primarily through the schools, whether, some of those school orders, if they're not able to receive them before January, then it will have to be first the beginning of the year. And then the other thing we're looking at is doing some community distributions. If we're not able to distribute through the schools, then we're going to do some distribution days where people will have like a drive-through that will be able to provide the codes while they stay in their cars. So we have been prepared for plan A, B, C, and D, because that's what this year, if you didn't know how to adapt, you had to learn very fast. So we're good at adapting. So we have multiple plans depending as the situation evolves.
So how many coats have been distributed?
So since the beginning of the program 21 years ago, we had distributed over 67,000 winter coats.
Wow.
Initially it was just Allen County, and then the last 3 years we had distributed in the other 4 outlining counties that I mentioned. But on a roughly on every year basis, we distribute between 5,500 and 6,000 plus coats. And those go, like I said, directly to through the school systems and then to organizations that are working with those low income, moderate income families in need.
Shelters, social services.
Correct. Yeah. And, Fort Wayne it has a great, not only a very generous community that donates and responds, not only to coats for kids, but to a number of great causes in the community.
Mhm.
But we also have a great nonprofit community in that agencies do work together and partner with each other. So, where we help agencies with getting them volunteers. Then we also work with the ones that are serving these individual families. We also work with them in providing them codes for the children. And it is really all an effort about using volunteers to create change in the community and ways to improve, how everyone's life is basically.
You work with like Neighborhood Link then?
Mhm.
You do?
Yeah, so we work with the YMCA and they pick up a number of projects for Neighborhood Link. And then so a lot of our volunteers will respond through those opportunities. So the way our volunteer partnership works is we work with over 100 different nonprofit organizations in Fort Wayne. And then through our volunteer portal, they're able to list their volunteer opportunities, their volunteer needs. And then on the other end, we recruit volunteers from all over the community, and then we connect them with those opportunities. So the majority of our volunteers that are in the community helping, they're volunteering at other organizations where we have made that match or that connection happen.
So you're part of the city.
We help.
Yeah.
We are well rooted in our city, and we help a lot of organizations in different ways. Organizations use volunteers in many different roles. Some are more hands-on, some are more office support. It just depends on what the organization needs. So we help those organizations by recruiting volunteers. We also help them by providing training to their volunteer managers, because training and managing volunteers it's different than managing staff. So we work with them in teaching them the ins and outs, what works, what doesn't work, give them ideas on recruitment, messaging, and things like that. And really through that outreach, be able to have a greater effect on the nonprofit community as a whole in Fort Wayne.
Well, how many people are in your staff?
So we have 3 full-time people, and then we have 2 part-time people, and then one seasonal person. So I tell people we're small, but we're mighty. So we do a lot. We have staff that has been with us for a long time and is dedicated not only to our community, but dedicated to our volunteers and to our programs.
For these coats and all, do you wish them to be washed or dry cleaned before?
Yep. So any coat that is donated to us that is gently used, our great partners at Fearless Cleaners, who have been a partner with Coats for Kids and the Volunteer Center since the very, very first collection 21 years ago, they donate all the cleaning of any used coat for us. So if you have a used coat, what we ask is, if you're going to donate a used coat, we ask, number 1, that it really be a winter weight coat. And number 2, that it is in good condition. So gently used is the best way to describe it. We want to make sure that the zippers work, that it's not torn. And our basic rule of thumb is pretty simple, that if we wouldn't put it on our own child, then we don't want to put it in somebody else's child. So that when you donate, you're looking for, something that has been loved, and that's okay, but that maybe has a chance at a second life with someone else. And like I said, our great partners at Fearless Cleaners will clean it and we'll donate it. So when that child or family receives it, it will be clean and sanitized and ready to be used and loved again.
You sent me several pictures of people sorting out coats. You'd like to talk about some of them that you had sent me, or we could show them?
So our volunteers work in shifts, and we usually would have volunteers that traditionally before the pandemic, we will have, groups of 15 plus volunteers working at a time.
Yeah.
So this year we have had to adapt because we cannot have that many people all in one enclosed space working together. So we're doing more sorting days, but with less volunteers. So for this year, our volunteer our slots for Coats for Kids have been filled. But if people are interested in helping their community and getting involved, if they go to our website, like I said, we partner with over 100 different organizations. So there's lots of different opportunities that are on our volunteer portal where people can connect and learn about what we do and the organizations that we work with. So we want people to get involved, and volunteering doesn't have to be something that takes a huge amount of time. It could be a small, you could volunteer for something sporadic or for an event or short term. It doesn't have to be something that's going to take all your time. There's many ways to help.
You have to wear a mask, keep 6 feet apart, wash your hands.
Exactly. All those good things. Stay safe.
See, you have a telephone number for?
Sure. So, and I apologize if there's noise in the background. We have some construction going on here. Our phone number is 260-424-3505.
That's a good number.
Mhm.
And to get in touch with you via email.
So they can contact us. Our general email is info@volunteerfortwayne.org. And then that once that comes in, it will get rerouted to the correct person depending on what it is. But that will be the best email to start. And again, that the Fort Wayne in volunteerfortwayne.org is spelled out.
You betcha. So what would you like to say to my audience to encourage them that we need their help to help the
We
kids?
need their help, and as I had said the last few weeks that I had been doing interviews for Coach for Kids. Our community is generous, and there are many great causes out there. So if you have been fortunate enough that you had not been hit by the financial impact that COVID-19 had left on so many families and so many lives, and you're able to help a little bit, you can help. You can help a child make sure they have a winter coat. My husband and I talk about this. We have been blessed that our jobs are secure. We have been able to continue working and earning, and so we try to help, pass that on to help someone. So if you're able to help, there's many ways to do it. You can donate online if that's the safest way for you. You can, bring a coat that is gently used, or buy a used coat and bring it to one of our drop-off locations. Or perhaps if you prefer to shop online and have them ship the coats directly to us, that's another way you can help.
Right.
There's many ways. And if maybe Coats for Kids is not for you, but you're interested in helping and donating your time, then check us out on the website. Like I said, that we have hundreds of volunteer opportunities that are guaranteed to
Different-
fit any case out
Yeah,
there.
different areas, but yours is very important, especially
Yeah.
during this type of cold weather.
Cold weather's coming, yes.
Oh, don't say
And
that. Oh, anyway.
And there's, I think a lot of people have a soft spot for children. They are just in the circumstances that they're at. And I always try to point out that, the families where these children are coming from, they are trying their best to provide, but times are challenging. Many entire industries have been decimated. And I think this year more than ever, there are people that have never had to ask for help or needed help before.
Because of this
They
pandemic.
find themselves in a situation that they need help now. So I just call upon people, again, that had not been financially impacted by the pandemic, if you're able to help in some small way, to join our cause.
With this, people starting to go to grocery stores, quick, let's get food and all that. And coats, in department stores, you're going to be called upon quite frequently.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of good sales for Black Friday. This is a good time to buy coats because coats can be expensive.
Do you give?
So this is a good time to be out for those Black Friday sales that this year are going to be more like an entire month. There are some good deals to be had, and I just think it's an easy way. I always tell people that you don't have to wear a cape to be a superhero. You can be a superhero by helping a child who are among the most vulnerable in our society.
Well, I'm glad that I had asked you to come on my show because this is very important. I love children. I'm with Three Rivers Art Center for Kids.
Okay. Yeah.
We put on river drums, and during the summer and fall, I was wondering. We originally started out to be bringing awareness of abuse about children here in Fort Wayne and Allen County. Do you come across that?
We don't, and I think it's mainly because we're working directly through the schools.
I see.
So we don't get to see, the children that the codes go to. We only get to see the teachers and the counselors that are the ones identifying the families.
So as long as they know what size the kids are.
Right, exactly. And when the schools submit the information, they're not submitting any personal information on the children. All we know is that they need X amount of sizes, this many codes, girls, size 10 or size 12, whatever, and how many boys. Yeah. And again, that is designed like that on purpose to eliminate additional barriers,
Yeah, screening and all that. I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the kids
So
get,
we try to make it simple and work with the educators that we know are working with those families already and have the trust of those families.
so the kids, do they pick out their own color jackets that they want?
Yeah, so when
Cool.
the school counselors and that, they you know, and they are not like announcing this for the whole school, you know, they're very good about talking with those children privately and giving them those codes privately. But yeah, there is some degree of that. Yeah, and the codes are adorable. I mean, they come in so many pretty colors, and when the school gets them, you know, we as much as we can, we try to ensure that they're not getting, you know, 20 of the same code. That's not what we want. We want to mix them up and so
Variety, spice of life.
yeah, because everyone has their own personality and their own preference. Yeah.
Así. Gracias.
De nada, a la orden.
So thank you,
You're very welcome. Nice to meet you and nice to talk with your audience.
Senora. I am part Spanish too.
Ah,
See, whatever. I got, yeah, that's me. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, so Canada. Eh?
okay. So I grew up in Puerto Rico. That's where my whole family is from. So my personal journey to Fort Wayne is I came to study communications at DePaul University in 1982.
Mhm.
Met a nice Fort Wayne boy in 1984 and then married him after I finished my degree in 1986. And here I am.
I just want one more question. Are you throughout the United States codes for?
No. So there are other Codes for Kids collections that are not affiliated. They had the same name, but they're not affiliated with us. So our collection is just in Allen, Adams, Huntington, Wells, and Whitley counties.
Okay, just want to remind the kids.
Yeah.
So, gracias, Senora.
A la orden. Nice to talk to everyone.
Adios.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Feliz Navidad.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always, for the rest of our lives.